Hello there and good morning to you. Welcome again. My name is Akinsomi Emmanuel and I am a trained and certified chaplain from the College of Chaplains, the Chaplaincy College of Health Science and Technology here in Jos, also standing in for ICCA in the United States. Thank God for His message and thank God for another day. I want to just quickly buttress a fact based on one of the videos I watched this yesterday or so, this morning I think, and it's a supportive buttress because the woman that was talking about your child and their upbringing, especially from the ages of 0 to 6 and then 7 to 14. If you have been a parent, you would actually agree with me that there's a particular age that the children are very malleable, flexible, bendable, and all of that, and correctable. But it gets to a particular age where you begin to notice some little changes in them, and you begin to wonder, where did you get this from? And all of the little changes. Normally there will be changes, there will be, but the Bible in Proverbs 22:6 that talks about training up a child the way he should go, is not just talking about the aspect of praying for them alone, providing for them alone, but also talking with them, reprogramming their mind or programming their mind to what you want it to produce, knowing that the human mind would always work according to the content. The scripture says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. The woman made a very strong statement when she said sometimes a woman or mother will be talking to a child and the child will be looking at the woman and be saying, what is she talking about? Does she even know anything at all? And I've had in a teenage meeting where the facilitator said some of them confided in her and they told her things that they never have told their parents, including drug addiction, including sex, indulgence, and other things that they were into, ranging even up to occultism. Now, you wonder that this happens even in the Christian home. Let me shock you, even in the pastor's home. I am not an exemption, because we all have one thing or the other that we are, dealing with in our families, even though we come on the outside here and present something that, the people want to see, people want to hear, especially you pastors. Some of our children are, into drugs. Some of our children are into all of these things that other children also do. But how did it start? How did it start? Sometimes we do not even know that they are there. Has your child ever faced you and said to you, what do you even know about me? You don't even know anything about me. Has it ever happened to you? Does it ache your heart or your head and your mind? Do you feel bad about that your child looks into your eyes and said, what do you even know about me? Or a child looks at you and says, what are you talking about? Especially the teenage level. Now that's why the woman, I agree with her when she was saying from the ages of 0 to 6, help them, because those are the formative ages. If you let that age pass, that's all. I do tell, my daughter, I said, begin to talk to your daughter now. Teach your daughter, explain things to your daughter, especially in this generation of computer technology and worse, AI. Now, where a child of 4 years can access the phone, can access the computer, and then you are busy there preaching the gospel, going to work, doing all you can do. You want to make it look like your child is one of those that, they are not suffering. You get them an Android phone, access to the internet, and you want to control, what they watch and all of that. I pity you. From one of my experiences with one of my sons, he installed certain things on my phone from another state. He is in Lagos, but he will tell me that, let me install this for you on your phone. He will install it from Lagos, and then I will share my screen with him, and then he will configure it right there from Lagos, and I'm here in Jos. So when you kid yourself thinking everything is about Sarabansta, you are wasting your time. You need to monitor, you need to find out, you need to humble yourself, you need to get these children to know that these things that they are doing actually you want to be part of their lives. Many of us are not part of their lives. I'm not an exemption. I tried the best I could when they were growing up. Sometimes I'll tell them, when you were growing up, this happened. And there was a day I was talking to, my wife and I were talking to our last son. And then we said, our kids, they never had misunderstandings when they were growing up. They were peaceful children. They were friendly. They loved themselves. They never had quarrel. You know what the boy said to us? He just looked at us and said, 12 of us, and he said, the one people know about, that's the ones we knew about them. I said, so you people had quarrels? He said, that was the one people knew now. The one who let people know. So that again gave me a reason to begin to think that there might be some things that we didn't know about them. And so at the end of the day, I found out that parents actually have this problem of, thinking they know their children. You vouch for them. Oh, my child can never do this. Oh, my child, don't ever you do that. Even in this generation, even with all your prayer and fasting and all of that. We've heard of big men of God in this country whose children went into drugs. I'm talking of big names that we all know. And there was nothing they could do about it until when God helped them. They could not help themselves. It's another person that God used to help them. I want to say this before I leave today. Between the ages of that 7 and 14, truly, like the woman said, is a teenage age. You're going to have lots of, issues of problem with them where they will begin to act like now we are discovering ourselves, we are knowing ourselves. So if you don't talk to them, you don't teach them, you don't explain things to them, you don't befriend them, they will become strangers to you. Your children become strangers to you and you don't know them. Outsiders, we know them better. And then from that age 15 up, their friends come into their lives. 16, their friends come into their lives and they begin to tell them what you did not tell them. They begin to teach them what you did not teach them. And then you now start wondering, why am I having this teenage problem? No, it's because from the day you start working on them, talking to them, explaining things to them, opening up to them, let them be able to tell you when something is happening to them, when they cannot, talk to others, let them be able to talk to you. Is it not you that are valuable that they can talk to? And that's why you fathers, I think it is high time we sit up. Mothers tend to know more, and I will beg you mothers, many times women hide a lot of things from their husbands because about their children. And when the thing now boomerangs, is then you now begin to see them running from scatter and then trying to find out the solutions. There are things you should not hide. I mean, I'm not talking about maybe somebody is trying to toast your daughter and then, of course, she'll run to the mother first and say, Mom, this person. But I'm talking about certain secrets. Some of you mothers know that your children smoke, but you don't tell your husbands. Some of you mothers know that your children, they keep late night, they go to parties and all of that, but you keep it away from your husbands. Some of you know that your children, they don't pray, they don't even read the Bible, they don't do any of these things, but you pretend that everything is going on well because the man is out from morning till night and you pastors, you are busy delivering people and praying for people. All the works we are doing together today, if we are not careful, these are things that ache the heart. I want to encourage you today, if you're a minister of the gospel, you're an executive person, you are so busy running up and down, why not just take time one of the weekends and sit down and just pay attention and listen to the things that your wife and your children discuss. Why is it that they are always most of the time running to their mothers in their rooms and they are talking you don't know what they are saying and you just conclude that it's not in normal children and mothers talk. There are some things that you need to begin to understand about your children, and the earlier you do that. Thank you, woman, that you that brought that video up. May God bless you. I think it's important that we just stop pretending that everything is fine in the church. There are some children that they go to universities, they have the so-called holiness garment they take to church, but when they get to the school, all right, they put on the other one, and when they're coming back home, they tie their scarf and then they put on their fellowship trouser. You think you're kidding me? The earlier we begin to tell ourselves the truth, because these are the future we're talking about. And if pretense is the basis for everything we call church today, we are doomed. Have a wonderful day and think about how you can begin to correct these things on your own. You can't fight it. You can't fight it. The earlier you understand, once a child it's even worse, it gets to university. What can you do again? What can you say? The child is watching porno. How do you know? The child is doing this. How do you know? The child is having solo sex. How do you know? So, a word is enough for the wisest of you are pastors. I think it's high time you begin to think, look deeper, and then, allow yourself not to be deceived. The children are not who they told you that you think they are, because it depends on what actually the foundation was. If you are taking time to, spend time with them, they will open up to you and talk to you. I can't boast that I can tell you 100% of all my children right now. I can't, because they are all graduates. They have all finished university. And then will I now begin to take cane? I begin to cane them? No. Now is the level of advice, talking, and then praying for them. But there's something about foundation. If you have put the truth in them, I always tell them, I said, your foundation will keep haunting you, no matter what. I always remind them, I say Proverbs 1 verse 10. If you remember, I sang it into their ears, that if you ask the children that I have, they will tell you Proverbs 1:10. They know what it is. My son, if sinners entice you, do not consent. They know it. And whenever there is need and I don't have the money, I remind them, I tell them God will come. I know if I forget everything, I remember those 2 lessons. So you that is there, delivering everybody, praying for everybody, and moving up and down the city and all of that, traveling across the globe, it's important you begin to think, will that work you're doing, will it be sustained? There are many of our big men out there, including the politicians, all of you, you know it, what your children, the fortunes you spent, the pains they are giving to you. But when you go outside there, you put up a straight front and all is well. You know it's not well. Prayerfully and humbly come down to their levels and pray that God should have mercy on you, that you've not had time. And those of you that have time with them, and yet they still turn the other way. Pray that God will help you, and then begin to befriend them. Sometimes it's their friends that you need to use to get across to them. It's not even the church or anything. I pray God will help us all. Have a wonderful day. Shalom.